Just a moment. All right, this meeting is called to order. Let's start off with a prayer. Let's bow our heads. God, thank you for another day. Lord God, we love you. We ask you to be in this meeting, Lord God. Lord God, we ask you to help this meeting be productive. Lord God, help us to do things that's going to shape this community, make everything better for the society. Let us be an example to others. Lord God, we ask you to bless every board member, every person that's attended this meeting, Lord God. We ask you to bless every household in Ranlo, Lord God. We ask you to cover us, help us to do what's right in your sight. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right, let's go with the roll call by the clerk.
Mayor Corey Peach.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Robbins Connor. Here. Commissioner Doug Moore.
Present.
Commissioner Ronnie Wallace.
Here.
Commissioner Eddie Locklear.
Here.
Commissioner Chevette Hill.
Present.
Okay, so let's adopt the agenda. Did everybody get a chance to look over the agenda? Okay, so I have a, do I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? All right. All right, let's go with our item number four, comments from the attendees, we have James Jones. Jamie Jones, I'm sorry, Jamie Jones.
Either one. James Jones, 1004 Strawberry Lane. I'd like to speak briefly one last time on the Strawberry Lane parking lots. I know that prior to this issue, a lot of people didn't even know where the street was, but I personally know that two of the youth commissioners have visited the area, and I do appreciate them doing their due diligence. I would ask tonight, one last time, if you would consider, when you consider the ordinance, at the most, I would like to see the sign removed. At the very least, I'd like to see some kind of compromise to allow at least guest parking, something like that. And last, I appreciate y'all letting us have the opportunity to speak for the last 2 months, and that's really what a lot of us just wanted, just opportunity to give our side of the story. Thank you.
All right, let's have, thank you, Jamie. We're definitely gonna, have another discussion on that. I'm not sure how we want to do it, but I'll talk to you about it, and we'll just see what we need to do.
About Strawberry?
Yes.
It's on the agenda tonight for item number 7, so the board can discuss.
Okay, I will look at it. Good. All right, so, Drew Orion?
Yeah.
Good job, Arlo.
Nailed it. My name is Drew Ryan at 1616 Allegheny Drive. Good evening. I wanted to speak briefly about the speed bumps along Ranlo Avenue. Since we've expanded Ranlo Avenue, I use it all the time to get through. And I think the speed bumps have been effective at slowing traffic down. And I do appreciate the town taking steps to improve safety in that area. But one concern I've noticed, and I've heard this from others as well, is that the speed bumps can be difficult to see, especially if you're not expecting them, because they aren't marked on the pavement. They tend to blend in with the road. And it's pretty easy to hit them at or near the posted speed limit. I would like to suggest that the town consider adding clear pavement markings to make them more visible. That would help drivers anticipate them, reduce wear and tear on vehicles, and still accomplish the goal of slowing traffic down in that area. Seems like a small adjustment, but it would go a long way towards making that safety measure more effective and predictable for everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Drew. All right, so we're gonna move on to item number 8, the website overhaul proposal.
You jumped there.
I'm sorry, did I drop? Oh, I'm sorry, I did drop one. I dropped several. Yeah, sorry, guys, I'm ready to go. Adoption of the March 10th budget workshop minutes of the minutes of the board. So we had a budget workshop meeting on March 10th. So we want to adopt those workshop minutes.
Make such a motion.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? All right, so number 6, adoption of the March 12th, 2006 regular meeting minutes of the board. So do we have a motion to adoption? Okay. Second, all in favor? All right, now we're down to the discussion of Strawberry, I guess that's Strawberry Lane, no parking ordinance. So you want to remove that parking ordinance, since that's the request. Commissioner Locklear, Laws, Mayor Pro Tem, you guys want to start off that discussion? Heard from Mr. Jamie Jones and a number of people on Strawberry Lane. We also heard from the gentleman that opposes this no parking, opposes, what you're, proposing here. So
Well,
you want to,
Mr. Mayor, I feel like the board jumped to a conclusion with one resident off of Strawberry coming, to speak the night that he spoke. And I feel like we should have tabled it or whatever, so, other residents off Strawberry would have had an opportunity to come out and give their feelings on the parking situation. And I just feel like the board jumped to conclusion.
I agree with, I think we did. I think we should, take it down.
My concern is that this is an issue in other areas of Ranlo also. Other communities are having the same issue with the no parking. So I don't know if taking it down would solve it or keeping it up. Because what it would do is open up everybody to come in here and say, look, I'm in Spencer Heights. We have that no parking also. We don't want it. You took it down on Strawberry Lane, we need it down over here. People in Mountain View, and they're gonna say the same thing, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, but I think the road on Strawberry is a whole lot wider than the roads down on Mountain View. And I think the reason they're up on Mountain View is if they have a fire, the fire truck's gotta get down through there. So you gotta leave enough room for that truck to get in to address fires, somebody's house is on fire.
And if I remember correctly, we had more than one person that came up, and there was an incident, Commissioner Moore, correct me if I'm wrong, did we have an incident with a fire truck going down through there, through Mountain View?
Yeah, the truck to the fire was, we drove the truck around Mountain View to the fire.
Right, because the streets were not,
Cause they had a garage slam full of junk and then parked the truck out in the middle of the road, so we had to get through, it was a lot of their situation, so the truck was.
what's your feeling on this, Commissioner Moore?
I kinda agree with, Mr. Connor, if we start, yeah, fire trucks can get down Strawberry Lane, if they park correctly, they can get through, but poor engineering from people in the past here at Ranlo, the roads in Mountain View are not wide enough for a fire truck to go through, people are parked out there. And I just don't want to set a precedence that we're gonna, all you gotta do is come here and complain, we're gonna, or not complain, but go against it, and we're gonna change this concept.
Yes.
You know, next month, we might have every citizen from Mountain View in here saying, the park on the side of the road.
well, then we measure the roads and give a reason why.
Oh, it's done to improve down there, the reason why.
Well, then that's the difference there.
Yeah, but there's yours in the road, the width of it.
Right.
Commissioner Hill, do you have anything you want to say on this subject?
So when I went back to look at why the board chose to put the signs up in the first place, it was because of the emergency vehicles. So, my question would be, is the fire chief here?
He's not, yeah, he's on the.
He's out on fire.
Yeah, fine, okay. So my question, one, to chief, has there been any issues, accidents on Strawberry Lane that would constitute a no parking sign because cars were parked?
We don't get many calls on Strawberry Lane.
As far as the police side, we haven't had any issues getting the calls or, report or anything other than when called in, but nothing as far as emergency vehicle getting down, our emergency vehicle getting down there.
I have a question. So why did they push for the no parking on Strawberry Lane? It's not a problem with emergency vehicles. Just one complaint is what led to this? Just one complaint? He just didn't like cars on the side of the road? I mean, is that the main issue? He just doesn't
Well,
like.
I mean, when I'm reading the minutes from that meeting, it says there's a potential to create issues due to the emergency vehicles. But however, if they have had a no parking for 20+ years and emergency vehicles have been there, So Chief, another question. Have you and the fire chief been out since this conversation has started?
I have been out, the fire chief sent one of his firemen out with a fire truck. So, and what he asked that we do is put two of our police cars, one on each side of the road, directly across from each other, and they drove the fire truck in between.
Was there any issues?
None.
How many residents are on the street?
I think there was 11 houses.
That's not a lot.
Coming from a community that does not have parking because we don't have the streets to park, I'm not in favor of, no parking signs because, again, when you have guests, it's very difficult, just speaking from experience, because we do have no parking in our community. When you have guests over, family over, it's very difficult, like we're constantly looking, like, make sure there's no emergency, you gotta go move your cars, like, we're constantly doing that. And so if there's really no reason why those parking signs should be up, there's no reported accidents. Hearing Chief, you went, did a study, you parked 2 cars, went down the street. Is there any way to maybe designate with chalk or paint the areas that should not be parked on that street? CJ or?
CJ, yeah, we, Director of Public Works, we want to get some insight from you as far as,
So can you like designate, like, hey, you can't park this, because I've heard concerns about the sidewalk, the stop sign.
That would be a decision y'all would have to make and on the attorney's recommendation. What do you want to make? No parking or? That's not really.
what we would like to know, I would also like to know is, I don't go out to Strawberry Lane too much, but, can you tell me what's the width? I mean, how much, what's the size of it? Is it like something that you think 2 cars, 3 cars could fit in?
2 car, as in, the term double parking. Term double parking is if I park on the curb and then somebody comes to park beside me, that's double parking. Now, if you park on the curb and I park on the other curb, that's not double parking, that's just you parking on the side of the road. And that road is wide enough where traffic can flow easily through there. Now, if you want to make a compromise, I would say no parking beyond the fire hydrant that's on there, and that will keep no parking for, you allow the parking at the front and no parking in the back. And the only concerns my guys have is on trash day turning their garbage truck around in the cul-de-sac. But nobody parks in the cul-de-sac, so we don't have no trouble. But, my opinion, the compromise would be no parking north of the fire hydrant. And then I leave the rest of the road free for everybody else to park on.
But you're not supposed to park in front of fire hydrants.
No, the fire hydrant is just for marking the passive no parking, but in front of it you can. So don't park in front of the fire hydrant.
So is it possible to maybe do some markings of where the compromise could possibly be of the no parking?
No.
Okay.
If you all decided to go forward with the text amendment, you would be prohibiting no parking on Strawberry Lane. You can't, the way the code reads, you can't say this part to that part is no parking.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. James. Jamie, sorry.
I just might add one thing. There is already a state ordinance in effect that prohibits parking from 20 to 25 feet before the stop sign. That's so people will not park there where you can't pull up to the stop sign and see. So that's already a state ordinance in effect. And I think somebody drew a line on there marking that already.
Yeah, I got a phone there.
Is, Mr. Tosca,
Yes.
is that true?
We have, it sounds like, we have in our ordinance that there is a linear fee, chief, 20 feet, 30 feet. that you can't park within from a stop sign, we do enforce that.
Okay.
Townwide, and that's townwide. That could be if you're on Strawberry, Judith, Rex, it doesn't matter.
What about, the fire hydrant? So we know we can't park in front of it, but is there any, zoning, around that fire hydrant?
You know, top of your head?
15 foot around, circumference around the fire.
So those would be existing, essentially bodies of law or ordinance that already are in place. But this wouldn't have any change on it.
What was the question, Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, what was the zone around the fire hydrant, as far as parking? Commissioner Moore said it was 15 feet
Yeah,
around.
it's 15 feet around the fire hydrant for parking, landscaping, anything like that.
Okay.
People put trees up front of fire hydrants. You get mad when you go against the hydrant and blow them mulch and everything, like, no one wants to pay for it. There's a ordinance that you can't do that.
Our ordinance, we have ordinance.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor, your ordinance says 30 feet for the stop sign.
30 feet?
30 feet, 50 feet for fire hydrants.
Sorry, y'all, running late, was on a call this year. So y'all have some questions about Strawberry?
Yes.
So, got with Chief Lunsford a week or so ago, got to talking about that after the last meeting, so we actually took a truck down. We put PD on both sides of the roads, put a kind of an inexperienced driver in the truck and let him actually make the turns and pull down in there. Everything seemed to work good as long as everybody stays up against that curve and does what they're supposed to. So we didn't have an issue getting the truck in there. Okay, now, we get a fire, we get multiple trucks, it might be a little bit different story, but for the most part, to get a single truck down there, we had no issues.
Right, Chief, can you be specific, when you say, you had cars parked down,
So-
did you have it on both sides?
PD parked on both sides, so we made a turn in, and then Jimmy, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all pulled out a little bit off the curve as well, and that a little bit higher for us, right?
Yeah,
So we done two scenarios,
we done the whole road.
Yeah.
Same scenario.
so just to make sure that we can get the truck down in there,
Okay.
in case of emergency.
Right, and then the question comes around and says, anybody can ask this question, say, hey, we don't want a parking ordinance in our neighborhood, but this is a little bit different scenario because of the width of the road.
Yes, it is, one of the widest roads in Ranlo, is that correct? So, yeah, we didn't have any issues, I will say that.
Chief,
Yeah.
how many emergencies have you had over maybe the past 20 years on that
We
street?
ain't having a few, they ain't but a handful. That's normally, maybe 5, it normally stays pretty quiet down there. Outside of maybe a medical call, that's it, nothing like it. Anything else from you on that?
Thank you, Vice Lewis.
I've yet to hear why this resident is so pushed for this no parking on the street. You know what I'm saying? I have not heard because he's concerned or a fire truck won't get in, or I don't know why one resident is pushing for no parking on Strawberry Lane. And I think from our last meeting, we had several residents that were here from Strawberry Lane. So this has nothing to do with parking on Strawberry Lane. This is bigger than Strawberry Lane parking. Am I seeing that right or wrong?
Am I allowed to speak to that?
Yes, sir.
I have tried not to make this a he said, she said against anybody, but you're right, it's one disgruntled resident and there's no, I don't know how to say it nicely. He's disgruntled with everybody on the street.
So it's bigger than the parking.
It's parking, it's a
I
more
would
issue.
love to hear from him.
Well, the last time you heard from him, he cursed and rushed out of the building. I mean, that's.
I wish he would have came,
That's
because
what
I
we're
would
dealing
love to hear what his
I
concerns were.
talked to a couple of the residents after the last meeting that Strawberry was brought up, and one of the ladies said that lives on Strawberry, that he goes down the road taking pictures of children on bicycles and just take pictures of children, and I thought, well,
I guess I'm wondering what is his concern? Is it he doesn't have enough parking for him and his cars? Or I would like to understand what his concern is.
It's a single man with one vehicle.
Is he down close to the turnaround down there? Or is he about middle ways?
Yeah, he's about middle ways.
When you go down Strawberry, there's a natural runoff that goes under the street. There's a big lot, and his is beside the big lot.
Okay, board, I think we've heard enough information to make a decision on this.
well, Mr. Mayor, I just feel like it was a snap decision to begin with.
Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion that we stop the no parking, take it away on Strawberry Lane.
No, second.
Okay, all in favor? 3-2. Okay,
You need to ask for the no's.
I'm sorry?
You have to ask for the no's too.
Okay, I'm sorry, all who disagree. All right,
No, it's
just not-
it's a privilege, you know, I'm gonna say that privilege.
I know, if I can speak one more time, I do appreciate y'all's time and consideration. Thank you.
I understand that you don't want to set precedents, but again, when you're dealing with facts, there's really not much you can dispute about facts. The width of the road on Strawberry Lane is factually wider than any road in Spencer Heights, Mountain View, and maybe even a lot of the other communities. So I don't think that you can set a precedent for something that's just factually not able to happen because of the width of it.
Well, I'm just concerned because I'm not just looking at Strawberry Lane. I'm trying to, I guess the problem is I'm looking at Ranlo as a whole and actually have that issue that takes place, same issue in the cul-de-sac by my home that is really hard to have a resolution for, because you say the road is wide enough, yes, great. But when an emergency comes, my husband always says safety comes first. So who's to say, I have a big party in the cul-de-sac and the barbecue catch on fire, and now the fire truck can't get through the cul-de-sac because we already got 10 cars in the cul-de-sac backed up for that special event. It only takes one time for a disaster, one time. So how do you determine what that time is going to be? And those cars on the side of the road could actually be a problem. That's my concern.
well, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one. Main reason, we spent a whole lot of time on it, and we're gonna move to the next item. It was, the choice has been made. We're not gonna change it at this point. There was good factual information that was presented by Chief Lewis, Chief Lunsford, also our Director of Public Works. We also have someone that works on the police department, on the fire department that's on the board. Good information was given, and I feel like sound judgments were made by everyone on the committee. So we're gonna move on to item number 8, website overhaul proposal. Charlie?
You take that one. Yes, sir. I'll make this quick, honestly, just because I'm excited to hear Ms. Tasha talk, but I will talk very, very quickly. So before you tonight, we had the discussion, I think it was last month or maybe the month before, about the website overhaul and transformation. So Commissioner Hill has been really just taking the lead on this and is just crushing it, for lack of a professional term, about how to make it into something useful for residents, where we can report concerns, have an active page where it shows projects, shows statuses of all of our grant projects, all these things that we've talked about before. So we had a great call with our website preparer David Turner, and he sent over these slides. You have them in your packets, so you don't have to turn around and break your neck to see it. But I'll just walk kind of quickly through what we're seeing. The goal, I don't think necessarily we have a goal from this board tonight. It's a financial request, one that's actually reasonable. So we'll kind of just get a straw poll at the end just to make sure everybody's okay with that expenditure. But really, it's just because this has been such a transparent and open process that we felt it's awesome for the board to have full visibility on this, just to see what kind of exciting things are coming. So where the idea is to, and David is much smarter than I am, especially when it comes to stuff like this, so I'm gonna say I'm a silly person, but just know that this is cool stuff. So to change this from what is basically a static page now, just it exists, it's arguably barely even the bare minimum, to turn it into an informational hub of just all kinds of interactive information with a calendar, with forms, dashboards, you name it. And that's what we were a little bit concerned at first that we were gonna have to change over complete platforms, but it turns out the platform that we're using actually has the capability to do all of this stuff. We kind of drew inspiration from a place I used to work in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, who uses I think it's Civic Plus is kind of the name of the platform. It's just so easy to use, so just intuitive, that makes it easy for our residents to go into this action-oriented navigation, right, where it says like, I want to, and then it gives you like, I need something, I want to show up, I want to do this is how it goes. And kind of pop all those little dashboards out and make it easier to see. Obviously the idea behind this is that there can be, well, this is actually a look at basically the different ways that it can be used. WordPress is what our actual program is, and this just shows that this is the benefit of keeping the same program that we have. A lot of this is going to just take a lot of content that we're going to have to give over to Mr. Turner, but we're committed to doing that because this is a very important project. But this just shows kind of the process for how those different pieces of information get wired throughout to social media, to dashboards, to resident portals with our existing software, and how it all kind of works together. And he's got a plan for how to do all that stuff. He's got the 2-click rule, which I'm sure is like a common term in this field, but basically saying, you know, if I'm a resident, I shouldn't have to click 100 different times to try to find something that I want. There's a lot of data that I don't know very well, but there's a lot of good data that you can look into that shows like the percentage of, okay, if I have to go click more than 2 times, then X amount of people stop doing whatever that is, right? So it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go buy this ticket. I get 1 click. If I'm there, it's a good chance I'm buying it. If I got to click 5 more times and then sign up for a reward, you're just going to stop doing it, right? So we're going to kind of give that same experience to our residents from a government perspective, just to make it easy to find things. So that'll kind of be what it looks like. So like, I want to pay, I want to apply, if it's building permits, I want to find, whether it's agendas, minutes, report, potholes, you name it. So it'll all kind of be this really interactive and very cool kind of interface. And then this is, well, again, I love Commissioner Hill's ideas because she lets me get to say them, and I sound smart, but this is all Commissioner Hill. With the idea of putting our projects up on the website and showing an active completion percentage and where we stand with, right? None of this stuff is secret. All we talk about it in these meetings. But it might be nice if you're just sitting at home and your favorite thing is not necessarily to come to a town board meeting. You can go to the website and say, you know what, where were we with that water line project? Oh, if you go to the website, there it is right there, right? It's like we have our kickoff meeting in like 10 days. That can be on this website. That way everybody can see, oh, cool, that grant funding is actually making its way here and it's starting very, very soon. So just really, really cool stuff. One of the big things that Commissioner Hill is excited about, and I am too, and will impact Chairman Horine and the events committee, and as well as Mr. Dina and the Resource Network, our new committees, is a useful calendar. A useful calendar. We have a calendar now, it's all useful. It doesn't do anything. But this will make it so that you see everything that comes up, which is Middletown Nights, if we're doing Food Truck Fridays, with other initiatives that come out of the committee level and brought here, all that can live in this kind of central community engagement type world here. ADA stuff, so there's some stuff going on right now with the state level, actually, that might be a federal level thing, where there's a deadline, I think it's the end of next year, to make all websites ADA compliant. I see the tech people that are way ahead of me on this. So he's also included in this proposal to continue to make our, which apparently is going to take a lot, to make our website ADA compliant. So learned a lot about that, but there is a deadline coming up, and he's gonna, while we're overhauling, why not go ahead and do that same stuff? Yeah, so same thing, kind of just board priorities, getting to interactive forums, transparency, committee portals, all that different stuff, and this is basically just showing, hey, the cool thing is, it can happen, we can do it. So I will just take a little straw poll just to make sure everybody's okay with the expenditure, because we'll probably have to come back at some point, just because it wasn't brought up at the beginning of the year during budget season. I think the total overhaul for the ADA stuff and the website rebuild is right around $1,200. So as long as the board is more or less good with me doing that, we will move forward and we will have a brand new website. I think he said what, 90-ish days, maybe a little bit less than that, and it'll be completely different. And what's most important is that it will be a lot more efficient and effective for our residents to interact with their government. I think that's all I got. Happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, let's be definitely mindful of the ADA compliance. I know because I work in this field myself. So one of the things that you definitely want to make sure he's understanding, there's more to it than just some of the stuff I saw here on the list. I'm sure he has all those things listed. And I know, you know, that there are lawyers out there right now looking at municipalities to sue them. Right? To sue them because their public-facing applications are not ADA compliant. So that's the main drive behind this. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, and honestly, if you'd like to be a part of the conversation, we can invite you in. I know that's your strong suit, so.
Sure.
Just wanted to- But yeah, so as long as the board's kind of straw poll, we're kind of all nodding heads, we'll move forward with that. And then it'll be exciting, but that's it.
Okay. Very good. Let's move on to, sorry, do we need to vote on that proposal?
Not necessarily, as long as it doesn't seem like a split decision, everybody's kind of good with it. What it really just looked like is a budget amendment coming in probably next month or something like that. As long as there's no major heartburn with it, we'll just go forward.
Any thoughts on that? No? Okay. All right, let's move on to the new business here. Item number 9, we have a presentation from Ms. Tasha White, Ebony Fest Juneteenth Festival 2026 is what she's presenting. The Ebony Fest Juneteenth Festival 2026.
So thank you so much, Mayor Creech, Board of Commissioners, Town Manager Hanson. Good evening, my name is Tasha White, and I am the founder and Executive Director of Health Carolina, where we are helping everyone leave poverty. We're a nonprofit serving Gaston, Lincoln, and Cleveland counties, and I am the founder and organizer of the Gastonia Ebony Fest Juneteenth Festival. And before I go any further, I have to say thank you. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Commissioner Connor, when we needed a home for Ebony Fest last year and the ground shifted beneath us, you did not hesitate. You stepped up and you made a call. And you made sure that the festival had a place to land. And that is not a small thing. That is the definition of a community partner. So thank you. That day, I became a Ranloian, okay? I made that up, I don't know if that's a real thing, but that day, you guys had my heart. So I really want to say thank you and I appreciate it, because this is a full grassroots effort. This is community at its best. And so for Ranlo to grab us and say, hey, you're our community too, it just meant so, so very much. And last year was crazy for everybody, right? 2025 was something else. In that midst of 2025 being so crazy, you guys said yes. You said yes. And I want to honor that. I really want to I don't know if they know how big it was, but it was huge. I mean, it was all over the news and everything. So I just really want to say thank you for inviting us in. Town Manager, Mr. Hanson, appointed by this Board of Commissioners in January 2024, you stepped into leadership during a season that tested the town. And Commissioner Connor called you, you said yes, that matters more than you know. So thank you. And Mayor Creech, I want to acknowledge you as well. Your presence in this seat in January of 2026 is a statement of hope to this community. and we are glad you are here. Thank you to all of the commissioners who work hard to make sure Ranlo is a community where everybody is acknowledged. Thank you for that. Help Carolina was founded in 2022 with one mission: to help everyone leave poverty so that no one walks the journey alone. We provide housing stability, case management, and direct community support to hundreds of families across our region. And since our founding, we have served over 600 individuals and helped place families into permanent housing. That work is possible because of community. And Ebony Fest is an extension of that same spirit. Because poverty, housing instability, and the erasure of history are connected. When people know their roots, when they know their worth, they fight harder for their future. And so that is why we celebrate. That is why we tell the truth about history. This June, we present the 8th annual Gastonia Ebony Fest Juneteenth Festival, and our theme is rooted in resilience beyond 250 years. This festival runs June 13th through June 19th, and it draws over 3,000 attendees annually across Gaston County. This year, the town of Ranlo is home to 2 of our events. And I want to be clear that both of these are first, not just for Ranlo, but for Help Carolina and Ebony Fest Juneteenth. So Saturday, June 13th, will be our very first Juneteenth kickoff festival here in Ranlo at the ball field. We will have music, live music. We have a young gentleman named The Gift. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he is a phenomenal guitar player, and he will be headlining the show here in Ranlo. We'll have community vendors. We'll have family activities and a celebration open to everyone. We are also considering a community parade, because I'm a big picture thinker, a community parade through Ranlo as part of the festivities. This is an evening of joy, culture, and community pride right here in your town. Sunday, June 14th, will be right here at the Lodge. We're going to have a youth empowerment and leadership program, kind of a teen summit. So we'll be right in here doing that, very excited, and we will be getting all of you all involved in some way. We have another event coming up Tuesday at our local library at the Gaston County Public Library. On Monday, they're doing an event with us that is, they're going to help us look at legacy and heritage. If you want to research your genealogy, they're going to tell us how to do that. So that's open to everyone as well. We hope you all will come out. Tuesday, we're going to have a farm-to-table experience in Gastonia at the Charlotte McLean Community Garden. Then we will have our festival finale at the Rotary Pavilion on the 19th. So we have a full week of events, and we want to say thank you again, because Ranlo is not just hosting us, you are making history with us. So the festival is, like I said, entirely community-driven and grant-funded. I want to publicly thank the Gaston Arts Council and the North Carolina Arts Council for their investment in our work. This is what community partnership looks like. In 2026, our nation will celebrate 250 years of American history. And we believe you cannot celebrate America's 250th birthday, honestly, without acknowledging Juneteenth. So on June 19, 1865, more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, enslaved people in Texas finally received word of their freedom. That delay is part of the truth, and that truth matters. So one of the things I constantly say, and I hope you all will say this with me, from Juneteenth to the 4th of July, let freedom ring. These 2 holidays belong together. They tell the complete American story. And sharing that truth is not divisive, it is healing. And it is how we build a community where every resident knows they belong. Which brings me to my formal request tonight. So we are asking the town of Ranlo to issue an official Juneteenth proclamation for 2026. And I prepared a draft proclamation, and I presented it to you all through email, but I also brought it with me tonight. It recognizes the festival and the events here in Ranlo, and it honors a Ranlo hero by name, Miss Beatrice Duff Garden, whose legacy and resilience and community building is woven into the very ground of this town. So a proclamation costs nothing and it means everything. It tells residents, every resident of the town, especially those who have never seen their history formally recognized, that Ranlo sees them, Ranlo honors them, and Ranlo stands for freedom. And we invite Ranlo local businesses to join our business partner circle. So we'll be coming out to Kingsway and different businesses in the area, asking them to partner with us for Juneteenth, which will also hopefully enlarge and enrich our festival. Participants will not only be listed on our festival directory, they'll be recognized on our social media, and they become part of our historic celebration. So if the town can help make introductions to local businesses, that would be amazing. And beyond that, we really do hope that you will agree to do the proclamation. Ranlo has shown in action what it means to stand with community. Commissioner Connor showed it, Town Manager Hanson showed it, and this Board of Commissioners has an opportunity to put commitment on the record permanently with the Juneteenth proclamation. We are rooted in resilience. We are going beyond 250 years, and we are grateful to do it with the town of Ranlo beside us. So thank you again, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and I welcome any guidance as we prepare to make history together in Ranlo.
Ms. White?
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why we can't end it here around with the fireworks and stuff?
I would love that, but the city has made, they made provisions for us on the 19th, so we do want to honor that. Yes, sir, but I would love to have fireworks here too.
What's the times on the 13th and the?
We haven't solidified any of that. I'm hoping that we can possibly have like a meeting so you all can give me some guidance. I'm really going to lean into you all for that.
Well, we have a special events committee, the chair, would you mind saying?
Oh, great!
You'll be able to connect, and that will fall under, the special events.
So I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming out and saying that. It's, that's the spirit of this Ranlo community. It's really surprised me, but the spirit that they have. This is the spirit of God. This is what God wants us to do. He wants us to be together. He wants us to work together. He wants us to, one of the first commandments is to love God with all your heart and soul. The second commandment is to love each other, love all people. And we can't do that by separating each other just because of the color of your skin. That's the most silly thing I have ever heard of.
We have more in common than we have differences.
Yes. So we really, the love that this town has, if you would have had a chance to go out with County Commissioner again, I'm sorry, Chief Lunsford, and all the people here, all these commissioners also went out and on that, doing Christmas with the bikes and everything. It was awesome, and I knew that this would be welcome just because of that love I saw within them. So.
Yes.
You all came last year and participated in the parade in Gastonia, but I would love to make that something that we do every year in Ranlo. I know they're offering a parade in Dallas for 4th of July, but I would like to continue this. I think this would be a more fitting place for our parade, actually. And so I'm excited to talk to the planning committee. I'm excited to work with you all, and this is not a one and done. We hope that not only the team summit, but other things that we have going, that we can keep going. Because this community matters so much to me. I'm so grateful to you all, and I know not just me, but my entire community.
Tasha, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My highlight for this is I truly appreciate you recognize Miss Gardner. I thoroughly enjoy a little bit of history, the background, for every year since 2014, 2015, I've tried to have her mentioned on the Martin Luther King statue by the courthouse. Haven't gotten it yet.
We'll get it.
Because her contribution to her community, outstanding. And the one beautiful thing about my study with Miss Gardner that I gotta acknowledge that stood out the most to me was that, I think they call it the hole back there. It amazed me how much love those residents have back in the hole. And I thought they would go with, this is the black section and that's the white section. Not one individual back there had any issues with Ranlo. They loved Ranlo. Despite even knowing that they weren't welcome certain places, they loved Ranlo, period. Her contribution was amazing. Nobody gives away land to a town that's got more money than she has, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, people do a lot of that.
That's one of the things I want to talk to you all about. There's placemaking projects and things that we want to do, not just for communities of color, but communities that have withstood. I think the story has to be told. We're not going to be here forever. You're talking about communities that have been here longer than maybe even the town was incorporated, right? We've got to tell those stories. And so, that's one of the things that I hope to bring to this, history, heritage, and excellence, which is the theme of Juneteenth.
We're excited. Thank you. Thank you for choosing us.
Any other questions?
Are you familiar with implementing this proclamation?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to open my mouth. So it's a very ceremonious thing, so you can either just sign it, it can be essentially acknowledged, or you can read through it as kind of the typical thing, and then just read through the whole thing, and you'll say at the end your name, and then it's proclaimed.
What is the difference in this proclamation and the one the former board did?
I don't think I was here during the
Well, I wasn't here either.
board, but I know this is specific to this year, and it mentions this year's Gastonia Ebony Fest and Juneteenth Festival, so I would assume that it's all different in that case. And this is the 250. All of it is very specific to this year.
And Ebony Fest, I've trademarked that, so if you want it to be Ranlo Ebony Fest, I'm so okay with that. It can be whatever you all want it to be, and hopefully, again, this just makes it a record, right? It just puts it on record that in 2026, Ranlo acknowledges Juneteenth. That's the major thing, and we want to do this with all 13 municipalities. So we'll be going to Lowell. I think the date that Gastonia gave us was June 16th. So if you don't have to rush and do it, you can put this on your calendar whenever you're available. We'll come, we'll wear our shirts, and we'll take pictures with you if we can. It just puts it on the record.
All right, that sounds great. Do you want to just make a date to do this?
It's up to you, Mr. Mayor. You can read it tonight. We can put it on next month, whatever you want.
We would like to come back if you would.
Yeah, let's do it on that.
And it sounded like maybe it might be something good to have the committee look at first and recommend to the mayor to sign.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll do that. Drew, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, sounds great. Thank you, Ms. Joshua.
No, it's not a board approved thing. It's just the mayor's information.
Oh, you Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you very much, that was awesome. Item number 10, committee updates. Do you want to start that off with Commissioner Gill?
Hello, everyone. I am Shardina Stephanie, 5217 Somerville Road, Chair for Ranlo Resource Network. And this is my update for the committee. Thank you. So just provide committee updates for April 9, 2026. Want to acknowledge the members and officers. Myself, Shardina Stephanie as chair, Marquita McCormick as vice chair, Terry Jordan as secretary, Karen Creech, Aisha Wilson, Kelsey Lynch, and Mariana Meneses. For our updates, a budget request was submitted to the board and the mayor on Tuesday, April the 8th of 2026. We have also established bi-weekly meetings beginning on April the 15th of 2026, and they will continue on a recurring basis. Our next meeting focus, which will be the April the 15th meeting, we will be developing a clear and concise 30-day action plan, initiating discussion on the development of a comprehensive resource list, and creating strategies to increase visibility and engagement within the community. Our proposed agenda for the April the 15th meeting will be a welcoming and opening remarks, review of budget request status, development of a 30-day action plan, resource list discussion and assignment of responsibilities, community visibility and outreach strategy, open discussion and additional items, our next steps and action items and adjournment. Any questions? Thank you. It's a little nice. Well done.
All right.
So far,
Go ahead.
You never know when your place is gonna come up, so. Good evening. I am happy to report the Ranlo Experience Committee is officially up and running, and we're off to a strong start. Our leadership team includes myself, Drew Horine as chair, Tammy Love as vice chair, Amber Spicer as secretary, and Jerika Robertson as treasurer. We're also joined by Zion McKenzie and Wade Morton, along with Matthew Mays, serving as an honorary member and our official cheerleader. We appreciate the support of our town liaisons as well, and we're excited to get to work together. We'll be meeting on the second and fourth Tuesdays of each month at 6:30 p.m. with our next meeting scheduled at the Ranlo Community Building at Ranlo Park on April 14th. One of our first priorities is getting organized in a way that ensures we're operating with full transparency and in compliance with all state and town requirements. We want to make sure our work is not only effective, but also easy to access and understand for the public we serve. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize the Easter egg hunt on April 2nd. That was a fantastic event. I took my own kids to the event. We had a few hundred kids turn up for 1,500 eggs. And I'm pretty sure the entire field was cleared in about 45 seconds. I did not time it, but may have been the most efficient operation we've ever seen in government. So, more importantly, it was a great example of the kind of community experience we want to continue building. And a big thank you to CJ, Reagan, and the Public Works who made that happen. Looking ahead, we have several upcoming events for the community. The Spring Community Yard Sale is coming up on April 18th from 7 to 11 a.m. in the morning. Residents who want to participate in that need to contact Town Hall to make sure that we know you're coming. Or the town manager knows you're coming, whoever is in charge of that. Let's see, where's my, in May, we'll have senior bingo at the park along with the Milltown Nights on May 15th, followed by the splash pad opening on May 22nd. Milltown Nights will continue throughout the summer, and we're excited about the opportunity these events bring. As a committee, our focus over the next 90 days will be getting organized and beginning early planning for some of our larger events later this year, including Milltown Nights, the Fall Festival, and the Christmas Parade. If we do this right, these events won't just be things that we put on a calendar. These will be things that the town residents look forward to each and every year. We're excited to be part of that, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
So your advertisement, very, very good. You got a lot of good plans. So your advertisement, you're planning on getting that out on the board, the Ranlo board that we have out here.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the ways. And is it? I can't remember the website. Does it have a place for it?
yeah, in the newsletter.
Okay, and it is, okay, those are your avenues right now, right?
We will have those avenues, our social media, we've been in contact with Megan, who is our town social media manager. And we're also in contact with, Gaston, to make sure that they're gonna start or continue to publish Ranlo events, to make sure that all of Gaston County knows about those as well. So it's not just, keeping us isolated here at Ranlo, but reaching out to the greater Gaston community as a whole.
Awesome. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was gonna ask you, my last question is, when you do this, are you gonna have a point of contact, or are you gonna have them just go back to the administrative office?
We'll decide that probably at the next meeting.
Okay, all right. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
One request, Christmas parade, go over to the high school bands, get some of those in the parade. Okay.
We will take that under advisement, sir.
When is the next meeting? Because I missed the first.
April 14th at 6:30 PM at the community building at the park.
And the normal,
Normally we'll be in here, but this room was already booked
the
on that day.
planning board is meeting that night at the same time, which is a cool problem to have. We have like 8 nights a month now that are meeting, so, planning board will be on the 14th, experience will be at the meeting.
I have a question. For
Yes,
the
ma'am.
community yard sale on the 18th of April,
Yes.
are you renting the tables that are going to be used out there? Is
You
the
know,
town
I don't
renting?
actually know the answer to that question. It was planned before we started meeting together as a committee, and so we're still getting up to speed on some of that
Yeah,
information.
I'm trying to
I think
think,
they have to bring their own
yeah, I
table.
think the post on Facebook, one how it says they're bringing on
Bring
tables
your
and
own
chairs.
table? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Will they ride? You will participate?
Any more questions, Mr. Wainwright? Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor? May I just have a second?
Yes.
I've been trying to keep quiet, so I know we're moving fast, and I'm talking a lot. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to our board chairs. I got the pleasure of sitting in those meetings last week, in our committee meeting. They love a lot of bright people that are gonna make a lot of great change, in this community. I'm really excited about it. We got some great people in process here. The reason I wanted to open my mouth and speak for just a second was because this is the first time we've had committee updates during the full board meeting like this, maybe previously during a different form of government, but what you may see in the future is this will be times when the committee, if they come up with directives or if they have votes internal, they could come to this big board for requests, and that could be budget allocations, that could be suggestions on, adopting this or adopting that, or having this or whatever it may be. Just know that you are free to vote independently of the commissions, but obviously if the work has been put in or research done, whatever the committees come forward with, this was brought to you at a unanimous vote, it's then for you to consider. So just want to make sure we do kind of how it all fits together.
Absolutely. That's one reason why we brought the committees in. Commissioner Hill pushed this effort on, and it promotes, unity. It promotes getting ideas from everybody instead of just a few people. So we definitely gonna value what you guys bring to the table. So we want that input. We want that insight, and we want that guidance. Commissioner Hill, anybody else?
I just want to know, is there anyone here that maybe didn't get to sign up but is interested in a committee?
I think
Outside of the public safety committee? So the experience, the Ranlo's experience committee? Okay.
Okay. All right, we're gonna move on to item number 11, appointment of positions to the Ranlo Public Safety Partnership Committee. All right, Commissioner Hill, do you want to start that, or do you?
I just want to say that there's a sheet in your packet of everybody who's signed up. There is one, Christine Meeks, who signed up for the experience. I'm not sure if Christine's here, but
Are you here, Ms. Christine?
Yep.
Would you like to come and speak?
But everybody else listed is for the Public Safety Partnership. I don't know if all is here, but you can see the names are on the left. And you have one in your packet.
So So I would like to make a motion to add Ms. Christine Meeks to the Ranlo Experience.
I said,
Mr. Moran, do we have a vacancy on the experience?
We had 6 people at our meeting.
I believe.
We had one vacancy, Madam Clerk? Okay, then we're good. Just making sure.
One is a hiring member.
Oh, perfect.
I actually counted that again today because I thought I was going crazy, so.
Sorry. Fair enough, I didn't mean to check.
Okay,
motion and a second, I already did that.
Yeah, you already did.
you already made the motion?
Yeah, second.
Commissioner Hill, and I second.
Okay, all right, all in favor? All right,
So Ms.
okay.
Christine, make sure you get with Drew so he can get your email and phone number.
All right, let's go with, let's move on to item number 12, budget
Oh,
amendment.
wait. So, is Mr. Moore here?
He's out with the illness, if you want to know that.
Okay. Mr. Lewis?
No, you gotta work with.
Okay. Mr. Smith?
Hello, my name is Tashawn. I stay here in Ranlo. I'm a fireman over at Ranlo Fire Department. I wanted to join the committee to try to help out with the community.
Awesome. That's a
nervous.
This is the new
committee.
So we need 7 members.
Okay,
So I'll make a motion to add Mrs. Sunshine Smith.
I'll second
all right, all in favor? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right,
So I just have a question. Chief, do we just need to make a motion for the ones that signed up that want to participate?
Are you saying,
Or-
so are you asking about, do you need to vote everybody in or not?
Right.
The reason you have the list, so I can answer, Chief, I think we should be good here. So the list you have is everyone who signed up. It is now your decision to either appoint or not, or table, or wait for conversations. You can say, appoint everybody, you can say, I don't want to speak there. It's completely up to you. That is just who is signed up so far.
Is there anyone here that would like to speak for the public safety?
My name is
Speak.
Yeah, your name.
All right.
I have to step down for the other committee, right? Because you can't be on 2 committees.
Exactly.
My name is Darrell Hayes. I spent 3 years in the military, in the Army, 20 years in the New York City Police Department. And I originally asked to be put on the budget committee prior to this Public Safety Commission being formed. So with respect, I told the chief that I'll be more than happy to be on this committee if I'm accepted, and I would have to step down from the planning committee. My years in the police department, and me and the chief spoke, he thought it would be an asset to help him get what he needs done. To start getting money and, for training, for new equipment, to, get his officers into specialized training outside of the Ranlo Police Department and maybe the FBI Academy and other places. So this was a long process that he spoke to me about. I mean, he had steak out at my house every night, but I told him that I would do it if I could be on both committees. And the rules are you have to only be on one committee, so that would leave an opening for the planning committee for somebody to step forward.
So procedurally, you just have to submit a letter of resignation from the planning board, and then once you're free from that committee, this board can appoint you to the
So I
other.
have to do it written.
Yeah. All right. Especially as the planning board. Yeah, absolutely. And you can just find me for that.
All right. But I think called you, you never got back to me. Yeah.
Almost not seen that. I always call that.
I left you a message in reference to meeting with the philanthropist, who's trying to get the money.
We will talk right after this meeting then.
Well, I make a motion we accept for this board here.
You know, you impressed me with your talk the last time. I remember
oh, he
you,
has to,
from the, I didn't, we had a lot of people speak that night. but I remember you because you said some of the things that you did was kickoff from Dick Wolf, his programs, and I watch his programs, so I thought about you.
Yeah, I know, thank you, I appreciate it, you know.
Well, he has to do that for
I have a question.
Yes.
No, I didn't do it.
Well, I'm glad to see you tonight, and I'm glad you're doing well. But when I listened to this with the police, with Chief Lunsford too, and you, and FBI and all this, but then I always hear, there's nothing worse than training officers up and then they go somewhere else, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking with FBI training and all that, I could see them leaving Ranlo, you know, to go to maybe bigger cities, Charlotte or something like that. Am I wrong in my thinking with all this extensive training?
It's like anything else, when you have somebody go for training, that puts them in a better pool to go somewhere else. But the basis of that is you take the seasoned officers that might be wanting to stay in the Ranlo Police Department, and you vet them and say, look, if we're gonna spend this time to get you trained, you have to give us a commitment that you're not just gonna leave. You know, it's a hit or miss, you know, especially the way a lot of people don't want to become officers now. You have cities compete with each other, but bonuses, pay, so it's always gonna be that. But when you look at the overall package, the more an officer is experienced and trained in certain fields, it takes the liability off of each city for lawsuits. You know, you look at it like an insurance policy. You take one out and hopefully you don't have to use it, but you rather have it than not have it. So some of these trainings and some of the things that we spoke on is just common sense. You know, the Ranlo Police Department don't have the budget to institute these trainings in-house. So they're gonna have to be resourced out. If you take the best officers and say, specifically, we want them trained in a specific field. And that might be, not necessarily just the FBI, you got big city police departments that take other officers in to train them, and they get certified. It also helps with recruitment. Some police officers would like to say, hey, if I go to Ranlo Police Department, I got a chance to move up and get better training versus going to somewhere else where I'm not gonna get those resources. And as far as the equipment goes that we discussed, yeah, new police cars, better training for the officers. Some of that training can be done right here. You know, guests can come in and train, you know, and get them certified in different things so that the resources stay here in Ranlo. And if the resources are done right, other police departments in the North Carolina and South Carolina area might have to come to Ranlo to get their officers trained here.
In other words, you're not going nowhere. Yeah.
Only God can say that.
That was the question that Robin asked.
I can't go nowhere. I live here. But no, that's the basis. When me and him discussed it, and he asked me for my input, and we had a discussion. He said, listen, I can use you if I get this maybe started and it's planning for it. That's all right, I'll get with the other one. You know, when you look at the overall picture, you know, and you say public safety is the key factor. One of the things I always say is that the police department represents the community. And if the community supports the officers, then it's a win-win for everybody. And that comes with a lot of training, that comes with sometimes de-escalating stuff versus you see it every day on TV, you know. Things get out of hand because of lack of training or somebody didn't take the time to say, hey, there's another way to handle this. So, you know, that's one of the good things about training, you know, you get people to look at the overall picture. It's easy to go ahead and say, put your hands up and, you know, go fight. But the best way out of the solution sometimes is de-escalate it, and that comes with training. You know, and right. One of the biggest things we used to do in the police department was called verbal judo. It's how you say it and how you speak. It's not always fisticuffs and brute force. You know, somebody could have a bad day, but the way you speak to a person can calm them down, you know. And then I always used to say, it's like when you've been married over 25 years, there's a time and a place to speak, and then there's a time to be quiet. So I learned that a long time ago.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Is there another that is here for the public safety? Ms. Robinson?
How y'all doing tonight? I'm going to join the committee for chief. I'm honored to be here. And I'm just looking forward to do great things. I've been a resident almost 20 years, so I'm well known in the community. I'm the man that cut hair outside, so.
Can you state your name again?
Jarvis Robertson. Okay, I'm Jericho's son.
That's
So, yay, what is it?
I make a motion to add Dr. Robinson to the Public Safety Committee.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, all right, go ahead, sir.
Is there another?
I can, probably speak for Chris Lewis and Brian. Brian's been on fire department for over 9 years, he's born and raised, he's obviously my son. He's born and raised here. It'd be good to have somebody from the younger generation to be on the board, to bring some fresh ideas. And he's got a lot of friends that could possibly be a police officer, you know, that want to do that deal, so.
Commissioner Moore, you saying I'm old?
No, sir.
So do you think Mr. Moore, Mr. Lewis would want to be on, because we can nominate them if you feel
Yeah,
strongly
and
that
I
they
feel,
want to join?
And Mr. Lewis, he owns a business here in Ranlo. He's really involved with Ranlo and trying to help the town out a lot, and I think he'll be a good asset to.
Do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion for both of them. Somebody make a motion for my son.
I make a motion
Motion
for Brian.
Okay, thank you.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? All right.
And I'll make a motion for Chris Lewis to be put on the board.
I second.
Okay, all in favor? All right, there he is.
Thank you.
Anybody else, Commissioner?
Chief, you have some? No? Yeah, that's fine, so we got 2 more to do.
It's 4 until that
Oh, yeah.
process thing happens.
Yeah.
I can do a handwritten note real quick.
Works for me.
So, yeah,
I'll give you some.
4.5 for now, but there's potentially 2 more slots, so, anyone that's listening, there's 2 more slots. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, so I can move on to item number 12? Good, okay. All right, well, move on to item number 12, budget amendments 25-26 15 through 22. John?
So there are 8 budget amendments. This is very common as we get kind of towards the end of the year. We just kind of make sure the books are all clean. The 25-26 is like how we label them, and then the 15 through 22 is the actual amendment. So I'm happy to answer any questions what we would be looking for. Because I don't know if we've gone through these as a newly elected board. It's essentially just a vote to approve the budget amendment, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, so you've got, from the very start of this, budget, you got a 1,900 decrease in the fund balance appropriation, and then you've got 1,900 decrease, so that really balances it out. So no real change in the overall.
So what it does, and all of these, so anytime, I'll just kind of give a quick kind of lesson on it, and then I can go, what I can always do too is give like a 10-second on each one. That's kind of how we've liked to do it in the past. So anytime there's a change in the budget that wasn't budgeted for back in essentially March, April, May, and June of last year, we have to do statutorily, we have to do a budget amendment just to show that maybe money is, it could be revenue actually come in, it could be a surplus money. In this case, this was a budgeted amount that the board voted on to cover the cost of a banner for Caitlin Brown for the Olympian. So that was something that this board, kind of just straw polled a while ago and said, yeah, let's get that banner. That's what this is. It's just internal bookkeeping to show, okay, we're taking that money from the fund balance appropriation and bringing it into our general fund.
Okay, yeah, I see it, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to think about.
No, you're good. If you want, I can do it.
This is just your debits and credits.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so that's all it says. I got it.
Question, when we do budget like this, are numbers always rounded out?
I believe so, let me just see if there's any.
They always, we try to not do like cents, so we're typically around it to the next hour.
That's pretty common guidance that we get from the treasurer's office to make things cleaner and not have 177 or whatever it may be.
I want to make a motion, once the discussion's over, we'll go on these at one time.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Just want me to give like a 10-second on each one maybe, and just go real fast through it. All right, so the first one is the cost of the banner that we put up down on Spencer Mountain Road. The second one was the cost that would come out of Powellville fund balance appropriation for the blinking stop signs there at Park and, is that Rex? Park and Rex. That was decided by the board a while ago. Third one is the removal of the trees up here at the lodge. That was voted on by the board a couple months ago. $300 is from a reimbursement from a canceled class. I'm moving quickly, interrupt me if you have a question. The $1,500 was an insurance reimbursement that we moved over to from revenue appropriation into a different account item. Again, this is all just bookkeeping really. The next one is a sale of a surplus item. This is that 1220 number. The next one is a large number, but having a fear, it's already been talked through. So this was both costs that are not only the design contract that the board approved and gave to Mosley Architects for this fiscal year that wasn't appropriated prior to previous fiscal year. It also covers all the costs of moving out of the Ranlo Church of God and moving back into the trailers and the associated costs. So that's kind of two in one, but we had coded it internal in our bookkeeping as like coming home. That was like our name for internal. That just covers all those. And then the last one is for the property and other liability line items. We had
Stop. Just a second. 175,000 for the move, and then of course, I think you said for the as you said, new expenses associated with planning and designing the future for the town hall building. Okay.
Yeah, the contract that the board awarded to Mosley to design the new town hall and the moving costs as well. So both of those are.
All right, good. I just want to slow down, make sure I got that.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
And then the last was for the increase in vehicles that were bought like previous year. This is just to make sure by the end of the fiscal year that we have enough money in that property and liability line item because we added vehicles throughout the fiscal year. So that is all. I'm happy to answer any questions the board has.
Make a motion, we set the budget.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? All right. Okay, we're good to move on to item number 13. Let's move to the presentation of monthly financial report.
And I'll go quickly this one too. So just like you see every month, no votes necessary. First page is our overall standing, all our different accounts, the the interest made on each account. And then the second is the monthly year-to-date report. If you notice, some of those numbers are high. Have no fear, you just voted to make those lower with the budget amendments. Now they're all coded correctly, and the numbers that are larger will be smaller. So we are still perfectly on track and doing great. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, explain the deficit.
Yeah, you talking about the admin?
Yes.
Yep, so in administration, when we spend money, we have to code it to a certain account. And prior to that budget amendment that you just approved, we just had to put it somewhere just in our books. So we put it in administration, our finance director and I, so that we could track every cost associated with the Mosley Architects or any moving stuff, right? So that's runs higher than what we had originally budgeted because in the beginning of the year, we didn't budget for moving or for a new design contract with Mosley. So what the budget amendment does, it says, okay, that takes that money that was earmarked out of fund balance appropriation, settles it internal kind of in our books. So now that number after that vote just happened is no longer 105%. It will be back to what our normal salaries and line items that come out of that expenditure item actually are. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, so we shouldn't see a deficit.
We will not. But all the budget amendments we did, which is a very common process towards the end of the fiscal year, just to clean up all the little stuff we have, and make these numbers right.
Anybody else have any questions on that?
And it's like you said, Mr. Mayor, it's not really moving anything, it's just internal bookkeeping.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Henson. All right, we're okay to move on to item number 14. resolution for approving a local water supply plan.
Yes, I will take care of that.
Awesome.
Every year, we have to submit a local water supply plan to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality, and basically what this says is, tells the state where we get our water, how much water do we use, how much are we predicting in future growth that we might need, which is undetermined at the moment, and how do we respond to emergencies and so forth. This was submitted to DEQ, they stamped it approved, sent it back, and they asked for a resolution from y'all.
Okay. Does everybody have a chance to read over this resolution?
Yeah, vote on this.
Let's, adopt.
I'm going to adopt this resolution for the water supply plan.
And there's nothing too crazy about this. This is an annual thing. We just have to adopt it to show the state that we know what we're doing.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, wait a minute, before you go on this, and since I don't know the units and all that stuff about the water supply plan, about the fourth paragraph down, you have that the town of Ranlo, that the local water supply plan entitled 2025 LWSP. So that's your plan, and we don't get a chance to really see that plan?
It's already been approved by the state.
Okay.
They work backwards. They want us to submit it to them. They stamp it approved, send it back to us, and say, all right, we just need a resolution from y'all because it's all right. It's backwards. Normally, we would submit it to y'all look at it, we send it to the state, and the state says good, but for some reason, the state got tired of saying, no, this ain't good. They have to revise it and then bring it back to y'all. So the state says, send it to us, we'll approve it, then get a resolution. It's very backwards.
And because we're a purchase system, correct me if I'm misspeaking, because we're a purchase system, a lot of this is just checking boxes that Two Rivers basically does for us. Because water that we supply here for drinking water, well, that comes from the South Fork, but it comes from Two Rivers Utility. And our wastewater gets sent to Two Rivers wastewater treatment.
You know, I think this is good, this is great, but going forward, can we just at least look at it?
Yeah.
Even though you gotta send it to them, we still, I feel just.
Is it something we can table for next meeting, or is it something that has to go out?
The state just asked for a resolution. We wasn't expecting a resolution.
Yeah, I don't think there's much we can really do about it at this point, right?
I want to drag the state along.
Sorry?
I want to drag it out the state wanting it. Especially when we ask for funds from the state, I think it's.
Like I said, the state sent back the approval letter, and then they at the bottom of it is, please have a resolution from your board.
Yeah. Everything's on the own board.
I'm just saying, going forward, we would like to see.
So the information they asked is, where does our water come from? Our water comes from the Two Rivers Utilities. The primary source is the Mountain Island Lake, which is part of the Catawba River. Back up is the South Fork River, which is very rarely used. How much water do we use a day? We use roughly 300,000 gallons a day that runs through our meter. Water is our future growth. Right now it's undetermined because we don't have no projects at the moment to say we're expanding our water line. How are we handling growth, emergencies and drought? For drought, we go by what Two Rivers does because they supply the water for us. For emergencies, our emergencies is our response to water main breaks, which is our just daily operational. We determine if water has to be shut off, we shut it off, we inform town hall, or Mr. Hanson sends it out in the alert text that, hey, your neighborhood's being cut off until we repair water main break. And that's about all they ask for. As in the big numbers every year looking for. 300,000 gallons a day is what the town uses, and it comes from the Mountain Island Lake and the South Fork. Something happens with the Mountain Island pump station.
Okay, very good. All right. So we're going to make a vote tonight?
Already had.
Well, I'll make a motion.
You already got it, and you got a second.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? I'm just, okay, we
You
good.
were concentrating.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was concentrating on listening to, what CJ would have to say. All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll sign that. All right, let's move on to item number 15, town manager's report.
So, Mr. Mayor, I'll make it very brief. I believe we had a resignation submitted by Mr. Darrell Hayes. So if the board wants to accept that, the board now can entertain appointing Mr. Hayes to a different committee.
I make a motion to accept the resignation. And Brian makes a motion to appoint.
All in favor?
Thank you.
All right, and then for the rest of the town manager's report, I don't have anything. I'm going to jump straight to the chiefs. Chief Lewis, you want to start?
Mr. Mayor, Council, Mr. Guest. For March, Ranlo run 14 EMS calls, 8 fire alarms, 7 motor vehicle accidents, 3 hazmat calls, 1 service call, 10 good intent calls, 2 brush fires, 2 structure fires, total of 47 calls we run for the month. If everybody is aware, we're still on a statewide burn ban, so please don't be burning. State can't issue hefty fines for that right now, so that's my report.
Thank you, Chief. Chief Hunter, you go ahead.
Police department responded to 797 events in the month of March. We issued 31 citations, 19 warning citations, made 10 arrests. Our flock cameras read 257,265 plates. We got 15 hits off of those flock cameras. The only other thing that I wanted to invite the board and mayor out and community is 2 events upcoming. One is the Special Olympics torch run on April 24th. I have all the information, we'll be posting it up. It'll start Earlton, Ford, and Gastonia. And the second one is the Officer Memorial Service, Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Service. We did have an officer killed in line of duty, Johnny Wagner. So he will be recognized, Ranlo will be recognized for officer killed in line of duty. That event takes place on March 13th, 2026. And I'll send all that information. I think Charlie can send all that.
And you have one of these in your packet today that shows the memorial service. It's always a very moving service that we always go to, and yeah, so I'm glad that you brought it forward here, Chief. That way we can all make sure that it's on our calendar. Thank you.
So we will take vehicles and we'll have rides. If anyone wants to join us, we'll get you there and get you home. It's a good service. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks, Chief. CJ, you want to finish out?
Yes, sir.
I just want to, just give a little update for the letters that went out in the mail for the lead and copper rule that the EPA established in 2022, I believe. The EPA mandated that all water distribution systems in the country had to do a systems inventory of their service lines, in front of the meter and behind the meter. In front of the meter is town-owned, behind the meter is the residents. So we had rewarded a grant where a contractor come in and did the whole town for us. They gave us a spreadsheet. We looked at the spreadsheet. We submitted it to the EPA. The EPA said it looks good, and they come back and said the ones that are galvanized and the ones that are unknown, you must send a notice out. And we provide you the notice, and if you receive this notice, it's pretty harsh if you read it. And
Because I called you, CJ, because I
Yes.
was using bottled water.
yes, myself and Mr. Hanson and every other municipality managers, directors, all went back to the EPA, said, this is awful harsh, and they said, yeah, we know, send it. So I just want y'all to know that the town of Ranlo has no lead services or lead mains. There's no lead coming into the town of Ranlo that we have tested for. And the letters you got is just something we have to send out yearly now because the EPA says we have to. And if we don't, they red flag us and they tell DEQ, and DEQ puts us on a list saying, well, y'all didn't do this, y'all are not eligible for certain grants.
And
So the letter is pretty much saying that you couldn't access the resident side?
Yes, so for my neighborhood, I live in the mill business, and a lot of if your meter box is either in the road or in your driveway, the contractor couldn't put a hole in the concrete and find out, so they had to check it unknown. From the records, most of the Mill Hill was renewed in the late 80s, early 90s with copper, which is significant, and everybody in Mountain View and Spencer Heights all have PEX or PVC pipes, but the EPA is like, we want you to see it. So then it becomes and this is what municipalities are talking about. So you want us to go and drill a hole in their driveway and look, and they don't want to give you an answer at the moment because they're like, well, then realistically we can send the bill to them to fix the hole, and they don't want that either. So that's what it is. And I just wanted to address the letters, and I also want to address one other thing for the commissioners that are on the board. If you remember the Boulder Port project, well, we're starting to find the same problems on Sun River and Grand Oak. We had 2 incidents, and Commissioner Hill brought to our attention. This week and last week, we repaired 2 sinkholes. The cul-de-sac in Grand Oak, the subgrade was all trash dirt, not properly filled. It's sinking pretty bad. They did not put proper asphalt in there, so there's only 2 inches of surface. That's the only asphalt we got. And we have found on Sun River a void running about 2 feet wide, extending up the gutter line, following the storm drain. I just wanted to make y'all aware of that. And that's all.
So are you writing something up for the plan for that?
Yeah, we're working on that.
As HOA president, I'm just asking.
So Chris, his crew went out today or yesterday, and they actually what they call flowable fill. You mix up a lot of concrete, you pour in the void and let it run down, and once it starts overflowing out, you fill the void up. So they did about a quarter yard of concrete, that wide, and it takes a quarter of a yard. That's a pretty good sized hole running the edge, but that's a temporary fix. But my recommendation, which me and Mr. Hanson will discuss, is about probably doing the same thing we did with Wooten and getting the road looked at again.
So how long is that temporary fix gonna last?
Once the concrete hardens, it all depends how bad the dirt is underneath it. So once the concrete gets hard and starts putting weight on the dirt and the dirt starts sinking, it's just gonna be a void above the concrete. Yeah, same thing as Boulder.
I have a concern.
Okay.
When you're turning in, like tonight, we leave here, and you turn it on Mitchell Road in between the churches, it's dark. Sometimes it's hard to act. I was just wondering if reflectors could go on. Right, once you turn in the churches, there's a ditch.
Right.
I saw a car, somebody over and hit that ditch. But you cannot see it that good at night, it's because it's so narrow. And when you make that turn in, and the other lady, whatever, can a reflector be put, just like a reflector, outside of it?
Right.
So people can know, look, this is a ditch down here with a big concrete drain.
That's a state road, is that?
The Spencer Mountain and Mitchell is a state maintained intersection.
If I bought some reflectors,
Have you stuck them out there?
would the law come out, the state come
I
out?
don't think so.
What we could always do is call up DOT and have a conversation with them, right? Because we've done that about the mailboxes, we've done that about the speed limit, we've done that about the drainage, because those ditches fill up and they're a nightmare, and it's all DOT owned, right? So we kind of have to walk a delicate line of, we don't want to use town taxpayer funds to repair a state level issue, but we can always call them and say, hey, we need an answer, can you help out?
Well, I was thinking easier than that. I'm thinking I can go to a hardware store and buy some reflectors that are on a metal stick, no more than I'm.
I guess the proper answer, what you do on your time, Miss Rod, is what
Okay, thank you, I just needed an okay, that's all I need, thank you.
But it's gotta be yellow. It's gotta be yellow.
Mr. Mayor, that's all I have for the time.
It can't be the green, it can't be the green.
Can it be red? You know, you have the red reflectors, and you put them in sticks, like you have, you see people have them outside their driveway or whatever, so you know, just so some people can know that that's a concrete drain. I saw the car, just so people can see it at night. Not everybody drives as good as you.
All right, we're gonna move on to item number 16. I was getting late. Comments from the mayor. My only comments is that we are doing a great job. I love the professionalism that everybody's putting in. Chief Lunsford, Chief Lewis, our Director of Public Works, CJ, Charlie, our town manager, is doing a great job. Mr. Tosco, we love it, what you're doing here as well. So all of our commissioners, we all working in unison, and everybody here has come out to pour into Ranlo. And that's really the only way we're gonna make this town better. Not saying that we're bad off before, but that's the only way we're going, but we should always be looking for improvement. I've been kind of staying on our town manager about a planning board, making sure that all our projects are getting taken care of. He's been doing a wonderful job. I was going to ask him to take a look at it tonight, but the hour is late, and this is something we can do in following meetings. But other than that, I do feel that God has his hand on Ranlo, and the more we do what he asks us to do, I think the more this town is going to be prosperous. We're going to move on to item number 17, comments from the board.
We accepted his resignation from that one board. Can we not go ahead and appoint him to the other board?
That's what you did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay, I didn't
you
know.
don't have to accept his resignation is effective.
Okay.
You appointed him.
You're legit.
What's up, someone is in, Commissioner Moore? Mayor Pro Tem, comment?
I think the residents, you all coming out to our meetings is very refreshing. The turnout has been phenomenal, and I thank you for caring and getting involved in what's going on around. Thank you for coming out.
Commissioner Laws?
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Commissioner Laws to the Safety Board Committee.
I'm gonna turn it down.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down.
Well,
I've been on board 20 years.
well, you don't necessarily have to, commissioners can't be on the board, but you
Okay.
can go and,
I can sit in.
you can sit in, yep, you can sit in and talk through.
That's better.
So I'll
Yeah.
take that back.
Yeah, you go sit in and talk through.
Take his knowledge,
Yes.
spread it out.
Yes.
All
Are you
right.
saying I made it?
Thank you.
Did you have any other comments?
No, sir, no, sir.
All right, Commissioner Gill?
I'm making a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you, guys.